Hi guys, Steph here. Okay, now for some you eagle-eyed viewers, my regular viewers, you will remember, or you may not remember, this particular pen set here. There you go, comes in a box, etc. So there's a brief view of it. And here is that particular set again. Now, as you can see, it comes in this sort of suede blue sort of case. It's got this lovely little latch to the front there. There's no markings on the box, but hey ho. So let's open it up and let's show you what's inside here. Again, you can see there's no markings. Whether it's the original box, I'm not too sure, but this is how it was actually found, and this is how it will stay. So let's take out the said pens inside, or should I say the pencil as well. There we go. Let's pop the box to one side, and what we've got for you here, nice and simple, is the Watermans Ideal fountain pen and pencil number 52. Okay, now first of all, as I say, it's got a pencil. Now both of these were actually in quite good condition when I actually found them. All I've done is actually just disassembled everything, cleaned everything internally, put a new sack in the pen, made sure they're actually working, and yeah, both the set is now ready to find a new home. So as I said, we've got the pencil first of all, to the back of the pencil there. I don't know how clear it'll be for you. It's got Waterman Ideal, or Waterman's Ideal to the back of the pencil there. But there you go, in this lovely green, it's what we term as a pearl green, or green pearl, with these lovely red flecks running throughout the pen and pencil. It's got this black section to the end, and then the sort of the gold plated cone to the end there. We've got the very recognizable Waterman's ball clip. It's got a flat end there to the end, and well, that's the pencil. Now I know you people know that I'm a fountain pen person, so let's concentrate on this gorgeous fountain pen. As I said, Waterman's Ideal fountain pen, made in Canada and made around about just after the 1930s, I believe, is when they actually brought out these Waterman pens. Now some of you will look at the Waterman pens, some of you will know that they made them in many different colours, many different trim. Some had gold overlays, some had silver overlays, some came in standard black, some came in the red sort of ripple and the wood effects, etc. They were the sort of the earlier versions. This one is what they term as the later style, or the later version. Again, as I said, made in Canada. And this is when they actually sort of introduced the celluloid colours to the 52. And as I've just shown you on the pencil, it comes in this gorgeous pearl green with these lovely flecks of red running through the celluloid, because these are now made in celluloid. Let's take you straight to the sort of barrel imprint, show you that. Okay, so the barrel imprint reads Watermans, then to the bottom it's got fountain pen, in the middle it's got made in Canada with the Ideal symbol to the center. So a lovely clear barrel imprint. While we're on the barrel, let's take you underneath, show you the lever. Now again, this is the later lever. It's what we call a spade lever, because of the end here looks like a spade, as opposed to the earlier versions which had what we term as the sort of the lollipop lever, the rounded end towards the lever. As you can see, it's still what we term as a box lever, which is again, well, the earlier versions also had the box levers, but this is a slightly sort of more modern version, if you like. Okay, but a slightly more modern spade lever on this particular pen. If we take you up to the cap, you can see it's got this sort of quite a single thin cap band towards the end of the cap there, and then if we take you up to the clip there, it's still got a ball clip, but again a little bit more modern than the sort of original, even like sort of the early version. They had the riveted clips, etc. They came in numerous different clips, but this one you can see has got this sort of triangular shaped clip. It's got the Watermans name running down the clip there. To the very top there we've got this sort of flat end to the end of the, or should I say to the top of the cap, which complements the bottom of the barrel there, which if we just sort of show it to you, I'm hoping you can see there, if I can turn it round in the right position, has got the number 52 to the end of the barrel there. So all in all, an absolutely stunning pen. As I say, it was in great condition when I actually found it. Everything's just been simply everything's been internally clean. We've put a new sack, etc. Even to the extent that all my pens, even the caps, you know, they have sort of remnants of ink inside. They all get internally cleaned thoroughly, and this particular pen is in superb, excellent condition, and somebody will enjoy it for many years to come. Okay. Incidentally, what I've not just told you is the size of the pen. The size of the pen capped is 127mm capped. So yeah, as you can see, it's a little bit shorter than the older version. When they brought this out, it was slightly shorter, but again with this celluloid, still a gorgeous pen. Around the barrel, it's a lovely 11mm in diameter. So let's show you the pen in a couple of different angles so you can see it. You can see it's in absolutely gorgeous condition, an absolutely beautiful pen. So this section, you can see quite a standard section, slight ridge towards the nib, and then if we show the nib, keep it nice and still, we've got a Watermans ideal nib. And what you can't actually see, because it's to the bottom of the nib, slightly hidden by the section, it's the correct number 2 nib. So there's a sideways view for you. If we show you the feed as always being lovely and clean, okay, there you go, everything is beautifully clean. And what you may notice as well, if we catch it in a right angle there, you can see it's got the Waterman name on top of the feed or underneath the feed with a patent number. Now the reason it's got a patent number, this, for you people that don't know, this particular feed it's a 2-part feed, and well, to be quite honest with you, you have to be careful when you're knocking out the feed not to break it. So it has a sort of feed within a sleeve, if you like, the best way to describe it, but it's a two-part feed, as opposed again to the older versions just being a simple single part feed. But all in all, again, gorgeous. The size of it, even though it's the shorter version, even with my large hands, very comfortable to hold, very comfortable to write. Pardon? Oh, you want to see it writing? Right, okay, even though, like I say, it's ready to go to a new home, what we'll do, we'll put a little bit of ink in it, because it'd be interesting to see how it writes, and then we'll clean it all after the video. So let's dip the nib in the ink. There we go, we can see a little bit of bubbling going on. We don't need a great deal, so I think that will do us. Let's pop the ink to one side, bring on our trusted little pad, and let's see how the pen writes, because again, a lot of these sort of Waterman pens are sort of renowned for having a flexy nib, well, they're actually very, very nice nibs. So let's just get on and sort of see how it writes. So what we have, a Watermans Ideal fountain pen, number 52, and as we said before, dating it the 1930s, maybe just after. I've heard somewhere that it may actually even be around about 1934. Okay, but yeah, sort of 1930s, as we said. Made in Canada, and again made in this green celluloid with these gorgeous red flecks. Does it have any flecks? I wouldn't say a great deal, although yeah, look at that. If we just apply a bit of pressure on the downward stroke, and then let's do some figure of eights. There we go, we're getting a bit of skipping there because too much pressure on the nib. But yeah, I'd say I have a little bit of flex, not a great deal, but writing I would say with a medium line. But writing, this nib is actually lovely. It's a lovely writer. Okay, so somebody's going to enjoy it and use it for many years. Even to the extent there, you can see, as I said earlier, everything's been cleaned internally. You can see how sort of nice and clean the cap is inside there. Slightly transparent as well. So let's pop that back home. We'll swill it out and clean it. What we've not shown you either is, let's show you the pencil. So by holding the cone and twisting slightly, there we go, we can get a little bit of lead to the end of the pencil. And so we've got a Watermans pencil in full working order, also writing nicely. So even the pencil works. Let's retract it back in. So there we have it, a gorgeous Watermans 52 fountain pen and pencil in green pearl with red flecks. Absolutely stunning. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at these pens as much as I enjoy showing them to you people. Don't forget, as always, leave a comment below. Press that thumbs up symbol, say that you enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe as well people, and you don't miss any videos. But what I'd like to say first of all is Slava Ukraini, and from me and these two gorgeous pens, bye bye for now.